नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवार्षभानविदेविदयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथेरारंभे करि मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेर स्मरणे हय विघ्न विनाशन अनायासे हय निज वांछित पूरन। So today is disappearance of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. Srila Prabhupada is the Sampradaya son, the son of Gaudiya Sampradaya, Gaudiya lineage. After the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his pure tenets or instructions, they slowly, with the influence of time, they were lost or they were misinterpreted by so many persons who call themselves as the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, due to which so many apasampradayas or false lineages, pseudo sects, they have cropped up. And several years later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent his own personal associate Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kamalamani Manjari, in order to re-establish the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as they are in their original form. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he appeared in this material world and he has written more than 100 books, scriptures, in the glorification, in speaking about the glories of Mahaprabhu as well as his teachings. And in this manner, he has established the pure teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had driven away, or he had very clearly given the distinction between the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the pseudo sects. And it is the mission of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur to spread the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the globe, entire world. So, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur appeared as his own son, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur had given this responsibility of preaching the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to him. पृथ्वी ते आचे जत नगरादिग्राम सर्वत्र प्रचार होइबे मोर नाम. Mahaprabhu, he had, predicted that his name will be sung in every town and every village in the entire globe. And in order to bring this prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come true, he chose his own associate, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. Srila Prabhupada, through his disciples, he has expanded the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or he spread the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu everywhere. And also in Padma Purana it is said, he Utkale Purushottamat. In Kali Yuga, particularly in this Kali Yuga, Utkala means Nilachal Dham, or you can say Odisha is called Utkala Desh. Utkale Purushottamat, and Purushottam Dham is Nilachal Dham, Jagannath Puri's place. In Utkal in Odisha, from the place of Jagannath Dev, means from Jagannath Puri, this pure teachings of Shuddha Bhakti will be spread everywhere. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur made his appearance in Jagannath Puri Dham. Therefore, this prediction of Padma Purana, or the statement of Padma Purana, was also substantiated by Prabhupada's preaching efforts all over the globe, and not only efforts, a successful preaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission in the entire globe. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he appeared in Puri Dham. He exhibited pastimes for few years, but during this period itself, he had extensively preached the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through various exhibitions, through speeches, through letters, through various dialogues. He had propagated the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is definitely the one who had brought the revolution of Krishna Bhakti in the world. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, even though he was present on this world for few years, on the 1st of January 1937, he made his disappearance past tense from this world, and I think about 50 plus years only he lived on this globe, but within this short span of time he had propagated the message extensively. That's why many Prabhupada's disciples, they say, if Prabhupada stayed for few more years, then it would have spread even more extensively. It's already spread, but Prabhupada were present, and what could have happened to this world. So Srila Prabhupada made his disappearance on this particular tithi. When the date comes on the 1st of January, the tithi is today. So on this particular day, I often heard Guru Maharaj speak the final instructions of Srila Prabhupada. On the day of his disappearance, Guru Maharaj would particularly speak his instructions. What instructions Prabhupada had given to all of us before he left the globe. Not only that, Prabhupada, when he was leaving, he asked his disciples to sing Shirupa Manjari Pada Kirtan and Tuhu Daya Sagara. These two kirtans he asked his disciples to sing on the day of his departure. By this, he had given a message to all of us that holy name is most worshipable. Tuhu Daya Sagara Taraita Prani, it's about the holy name. Nam Namakari Bahudani Sarvashak, the second sloka of Shikshashtaka. So, as an expansion to this particular verse, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written in the form of Kirtan. So, Srila Prabhupada has, he asked his disciple, rather, he gave instruction to all of us about the supremacy of the holy name, that we should be the worshippers of the holy name alone. We don't have any other duty to perform in this material world other than to simply engage in the chanting of the holy name. And the other instruction is Shirupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada Sei Mor Bhajana Pujan. This Kirtan. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj was asked to sing this particular Kirtan. And Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, his voice was not very appropriate for singing. He would say that, I am not a very good singer. So, one other devotee, he told that, I will sing. But Prabhupada told, no, I want him to sing. I don't want to hear melodiously, a melodious kirtan. I want to hear properly. So, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj sang this kirtan, Shirupa Manjari Pada, on the order of Srila Prabhupada. So, in this particular kirtan that is written by Narottam Das Thakur, the instruction is Shirupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada. My only wealth is the lotus feet of Shirupa Goswami. Sei Mor Bhajana Pujan. That is the object of my worship. That is the object of my service. Narottam Das Thakur has written this, and Prabhupada had, he had given this instruction through this, listening to this particular kirtan, that we should cherish, we should worship, we should place the position of being servant of Rupa Goswami as the topmost thing. This is the instruction that Prabhupada wanted to give to all of us through these two particular kirtans, about the holy name and about following the footsteps of Rupa Goswami's followers. These are the very, very specific instructions that Prabhupada gave on this particular day. So, we should always eagerly hanker to, attain this particular state. Now, we will read the final instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Gaudiya Acharya Bhaskar, Om Vishnupad, Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, अप्रकट लीला आविष्कारेर कयेक दिवस पूर्वे अर्थात 23 दिसंबर 1936 प्रातःकाले समवेत भक्तगणेर निकट निम्नलिखित उपदेशावली कीर्तन करियाछिलेन. So, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a few days before his departure from this material world, that is on the 23rd of December 1936, a week before his departure from this planet, he gave these following instructions to all of us. আমি বহু লোককে উদ্বেগ দিয়েছি. I have given trouble to so many persons. अकैतव सत्य कथा बोलते बाध्य হয়েছি বলে, নিষ্কপটে হরিভজন করতে বলেছি বলে অনেক লোক হয়তো আমাকে শত্রু মনে করেছেন. Why did I give trouble to others? Or why did they think that I gave trouble to them? Because I was wanting to engage everyone in Hari Bhajan without deceitfulness, without hypocrisy. I was bound to speak the truth. Akaitav Satya Katha. The truth which is akaitava, which is free from hypocrisy, means not just to speak the truth. Sometimes we try to hide the truth because we fear that others may not be ready to accept it. Others may not like it. And if we think so, then we are not trying to bring any good to him. Just like Akaitava Krishna Katha means, when Krishna Bhajan, when the service to Krishna, when it is covered with Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, religiosity, sense gratification, economic development and even up to liberation, then we are not talking about the absolute truth. Absolute truth is for himself and by himself. And because we are coming from the absolute truth, our existence should be for the absolute truth. Our existence should not be for anything else other than absolute truth. Not for dharma, not for religiosity, not for sense gratification, not for economic development, and not even for the purpose of liberation. The purpose of our existence should be for the service of the absolute truth only. Therefore, I was forced to speak about this truth without hypocrisy. Therefore, many might have considered me to be their enemy also, because through dioramas, through exhibits, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had, very clearly refuted all the, unwanted things happening in the name of bhajan and bhakti and service of God. So many Brahmanas, so many Goswamis, so many other persons, they were performing various kinds of illicit activities in the name of service to God. They have the deities, they are worshipping the deities, but their purpose was not to serve the deities, their purpose was to fill their bellies. The caste Goswamis, they outwardly they exhibit themselves to be, the gurus, but they had the tendency for enjoyment, and they would enjoy also in seclusion. Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had brought all of them into light. They were respected earlier, but Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had very clearly brought all of these things into light. All the illicit things happening in the name of Krishna Bhakti, they were all brought into light. And therefore, many persons might have considered me as their enemy also. It happens, right? When such things are exposed in the public, the Brahmanas through dioramas, through various exhibits, Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has exposed the inner mood of the Brahmanas. He had, in one of the exhibits, he had put the Brahmanas beating the peanuts with Shaligram Shila. Peanuts with the cover. So, in order to open it, the Brahmanas are using the Shaligram Shila, that is worshipped. By seeing this, the Brahmanas got enraged. What is this? Why is he showing like this? Srila Prabhupada, there he clearly mentioned these Brahmanas are using this worship of Shaligram for their livelihood. Beating the peanuts means basically they are for the purpose of food they are using Shaligram. They are not serving Shaligram for the purpose of his service. The Brahmanas, they would worship the deities so that they get some money and they will enjoy. That has become the purpose of all the temples. Srila Prabhupada had very clearly gone against all these things. He himself was a Brahmana. But he has written an article, he spoke about Brahmana and Vaishnava. That's also got printed in the form of a book. Brahmana and Vaishnava. What is the difference between a Brahmana and a Vaishnava? At first he spoke very nicely about the Brahmanas. It was a 2-day assembly. He spoke very nicely about the Brahmanas. All the Brahmanas were very satisfied. You see, Brahmanas are being glorified. The next day these Brahmanas brought some more Brahmanas. Please come. Please come. The glories of Brahmanas are being sung so nicely by this Swamiji. Next day so many Brahmanas assembled. That day he refuted Brahmanas, Brahminical, all the so-called caste Brahmanas, and then he spoke about what Vaishnavism is. This is Prabhupada's preaching strategy. This was his strategy. When everyone got assembled, Prabhupada spoke about how the Brahmanas are, what Brahmanas are supposed to be and what Brahmanas are now, and how Vaishnavas are superior to the Brahmanas. A person may be a Brahmana, but if he has got knowledge of all the scriptures, but if he is not a devotee, useless he is. Whereas a Chandala, an outcast, he is a worshipper of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He has no eligibility to go through the Vedas. But because he is a Krishna Bhakta, is a devotee of Krishna, all the Vedas have automatically manifested in him, or rather, he has understood the essence of all the Vedas. Essence of all the Vedas is to chant the holy name. That is the instruction of all the scriptures. That those Chandala, an outcast, so called, he has no eligibility to go through the Vedas, but he has understood the purport of the Vedas. So the next day Prabhupada had established about the supremacy of the Vaishnavas over Brahmanas. And all the Brahmanas, they got enraged. What is this person speaking? So in this manner, Prabhupada is telling that I have given worries, troubles to so many persons because I was forced to speak absolute truth. And I wanted that everyone should perform Hari Bhajan without any duplicity, without hypocrisy. And that is why people considered me as their enemy. अन्याभिलाष ও কপটতা ছেড়ে নিষ্কপটে কৃষ্ণ সেবায় উন্মুক্ত হওয়ার জন্যই আমি অনেক লোককে নানা প্রকার উদ্বেগ দিয়েছেন. Why did I give this trouble to others? Giving trouble means a mother does not give trouble to the child. She chastises. It doesn't mean she is wanting to give trouble to the child or worry to the child. It is for the welfare of the child that the mother or the father, they are punishing him or they are chastising the child. But here, Prabhupada also, he has no personal agenda to target or to trouble others. He has not targeted unnecessarily anyone. He is telling that Anyabhilash o Kapata Chede, so that the living entities will give up their desire for unwanted things other than Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and Kapata, so that they may give up their duplicity and without hypocrisy may they engage in the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For that purpose only, if at all I have given trouble, for that purpose only I gave. Because a child does not want to do as per the father or mother's instructions, even though it is bad. Our Guru Maharaj used to give this example that there is a red pill, very attractive. So a child wants to take it because very shining, very nice, but that's poisonous. He repeatedly wants to, grab it, take that particular, pill. But mother, she wants, if the child does not want to listen, she will beat him also. She will beat him, chastise him. And Guru Maharaj says, to the extent of cutting her hand also, so that he cannot take it, when repeatedly is telling. She can go even up to that extent. But she will not allow the child to eat that poisonous pill. In a similar manner, that's out of her affection to the child. In a similar manner, here Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because of his affection to all the conditioned souls in this material world, he is telling that may they engage in the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna without any duplicity, without any hypocrisy. May they engage only in the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For that purpose, they might have considered me as their enemy, or they might think that I have given trouble to them. এই কথা তারা কোনো না কোনো দিন বুঝতে পারবেন. One day they will certainly understand why I did so. Prabhupada was very, very strong. He would chastise his disciples. Sometimes he would call his disciples as Prabhu, my Prabhus. And sometimes he would chastise them. So, some persons, they could not harmonize. What is this? Prabhupada is calling us Prabhu, my master, and then he is chastising all. This seems to be, duplicitous behavior. If I am his master, he should be following me, or he should not chastise me, but he is doing both. What is this? This is just like a mother. Mother Yashoda, she is punishing Krishna. Punishing Krishna means it is not that she is supreme, but for thinking about the welfare of the child out of her affection towards the child, she is punishing. So, Prabhupada's chastisement, punishment to the disciples or to whoever it is out of affection. The Vaishnavas, they chastise out of affection. They don't do it out of any personal grudge or any animosity to anyone. They do it out of compassion. So Prabhupada is telling that one day they will understand this. Shakale Rupa Raghunathir Katha Paramotsahir Sahit Prachar Karun. All of you should propagate the message of Rupa and Raghunatha with great enthusiasm. Srila Prabhupada is asking all of us to propagate the message of Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswami with enthusiasm. Rupa Goswami, to Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu had given the instructions of Abhideya Tattva, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, I think it comes. Mahaprabhu's instructions to Rupa Goswami about bhakti. So Rupa Goswami's teachings and Raghunath Das Goswami, teachings to Raghunath Das Goswami. What are the teachings to Raghunath Das Goswami? About Yukta Vairagya, Falgu Vairagya, and so many other renunciation. How to perform Krishna Bhakti. What is renunciation? All these things Mahaprabhu had given instructions to Raghunath Das Goswami. Therefore, you propagate, and Raghunath Das Goswami has written Manashiksha, how to dictate the mind, how to instruct the mind. So, all these instructions of Rupa and Raghunatha, all of you propagate with great enthusiasm. Shri Rupanug Ganer Padapadmi Dhuli Hawaii Amader Charam Akankhar Vishay. Our topmost wish, desire is to become the dust and the lotus feet of the followers of Rupa Goswami. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada. This is what in his final instruction is telling. Our ultimate aim is to become a speck of dust and the lotus feet of the followers of Rupa Goswami. Apnara Shaklei এক অদ্বৈ জ্ঞানের অপ্রাকৃত ইন্দ্রিয় তৃপ্তির উদ্দেশ্যে আশ্রয় বিগ্রহের আনুগত্যে মিলেমিশে থাকবেন. He is telling that all of you should stay united with a singular purpose of serving the transcendental sense organs of the absolute organic whole or absolute truth under the guidance of Ashraya Vigraha Guru. Srila Prabhupada is telling that all of you should stay united under the shelter of Sri Guru with a singular purpose to serve the transcendental sense organs of the organic whole, means of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Transcendental sense organs, they are not material sense organs, because material sense organs, how much ever we serve, they are never satisfied. This, you provide very delicious food to the tongue will never say, yes, I am done. You provide lot of comfort to the body will never say, yes, I am done. You provide, so many other sense enjoyments, whatever kinds of sense enjoyments are there, none of the sense organs are satisfied even after a prolonged enjoyment. Transcendental sense organs of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, they are also not satisfied completely. That is why there are so many servants. But the thing is, if we become servants of the transcendental sense organs of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, then we never have to become servants of our own senses. Because when we become servants of our senses, then only trouble. We are inviting only trouble. But when we become servants of the absolute whole, then it's blissful. So here, he is telling that all of you should stay united with this purpose. সকলেই এক হরিভজনের উদ্দেশ্যে এই দুই দিনের অনিত্য সংসারে কোন রূপে জীবন নির্বাহ করে চলবেন। This material world is transient. Any time you may die. Just for, in this material world your stay is for 1 or 2 days, not much. Therefore, somehow pull on your life in this temporary material world. Somehow pull on your life. Don't try to engage in how to live properly, how to serve myself properly, how to enjoy. This is anitya, this is temporary, any moment in 1 or 2 days. Ajiva sateka varshe marana nishchay. Nischinta na thako bhai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, Ajiva sateka varshe pore. Today or after 100 years, whatever it is. Today or 100 years later, marana nishchay, death is certain, inevitable. Nischinta na thako bhai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that don't stay, nischinta means without worry. Don't stay without worry. Don't stay without worry means death is going to come. Don't carelessly spend your life. Try to meditate on this, that you have to die one day. So here he is telling that this temporary material world, you will stay only for few days. Therefore, don't engage yourself in these activities, but your only purpose of staying in this material world should be to perform Hari Bhajan. How can I get out of this material world? If one can think of this while living, he is the only smart person, we can say. How I can live nicely, how I can live comfortably here, we think that person is smart. A person who is thinking like this, that a person who can live very nicely, comfortably, and he is a very smart or intelligent person. But Prabhupada and our previous acharyas, they say that how I can get out of this material world, which is temporary, which is troublesome. This is the, he is more intelligent. So Srila Prabhupada is telling that somehow pull on your life in this material world, temporary material world, with one purpose of serving Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Shata Vipad, Shata Ganjana or Shata Lanchanayo, Hari Bhajan chhadve na. Never give up your bhajan in the middle of thousands of troubles, thousands of challenges, thousands of accusations and troubles. Many things will come in this material world. But even in the middle of all those things, don't get swayed away. Don't give up your Hari Bhajan. Jagater adhikansha lok अकैतव कृष्ण सेवार कथा ग्रहण करिछे ना देखे निरुत्साहित हबेन ना. Seeing that a majority of the persons in this material world are not taking to Krishna bhakti, don't get disheartened, don't get discouraged, because majority is not Krishna bhakti. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam veti tattvata. In Gita, the Lord is telling, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Among millions and millions of people, very few will try to aspire for perfection. Very few out of millions and millions. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam veti tattvata. And among millions of those who are trying to attain perfection, very rare are those who know me. Means Krishna bhakti is not very easy, very, very rare. Therefore, seeing that the majority in this material world is not devoted to Krishna, don't get disheartened. निज भजन, निज सर्वस्व, कृष्ण कथा श्रवण कीर्तन छाड़बेन ना. Don't give up your bhajan by seeing this, by getting disheartened. Don't give up your bhajan. Don't give up listening and speaking Krishna Katha, which is your only, what you call, sarvasva, means which is everything for all of us. Krishna Katha is all of us, for everything for all of us. Means, other than Krishna Katha, nothing else belongs to us. We should have affinity to hear and speak Krishna Katha. Don't ever give this up. Srila Prabhupada is telling, don't ever give this up. Trinadapi sunicha o tarur nai sahishnu hoye sarvakhan hari kirtan korben. Always engage or always perform Krishna Sankirtan by considering yourself to be more humble than grass and being more tolerant than tree. You perform Hari Kirtan always. আমাদের এই জরদ্গবতুল্য দেহটাকে আমরা সপার্ষদ শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্যের সংকীর্তন যজ্ঞে আহুতি দেওয়ার আকাঙ্ক্ষা পোষণ করি. I want to maintain the desire to give up this body which is temporary, which is aging like a cow, to offer in the sacrifice of Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Just like in the previous days, an aged cow, a very old cow, is offered in the fire sacrifice, so that the sufferings in that particular life is gone and the cow is, attaining a higher birth, a superior birth in the next life. So for that purpose, eligible Brahmanas, not everyone, eligible Brahmanas, they would perform such sacrifice. Means this body is to be offered in the fire of Krishna Nama Sankirtan, because this body is aging. We are aging every day. So it has to be offered in the fire of Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Amra कोनो प्रकार कर्म वीरत्व व धर्म वीरत्वेर अभिलाषी नहीं. We are not performers of great religious activities, philanthropic activities, and thereby become enjoyers of the fruits of that. Oh, such and such person is a great philanthropist, and he is, dharma viratva is a revolutionary in the religious path. We don't want to become all those things. We have not come here to become persons noticed by others or to establish ourselves as leaders of a certain thing. We are not here for that. Kintu janme janme Shri Rupa Prabhur pada padmer dhuli amader swarup amader sarvasva. But birth after birth, our true identity is to become the dust at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. This is our real identity. He is telling that our real identity is not that we are philanthropists or we are great reformers of religion or anything like that. Our true identity is that we are, our identity as well as our desire is to be at the dust, at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Bhakti Vinod Dhara kokhano ruddha hoben na. The path of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is never going to be stopped. The stream of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is going to continue, it will continue to flow. Means, before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings were misinterpreted. Shuddha Bhakti was misinterpreted. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has, constructed a fort so that no, apasiddhanta, false siddhanta will creep into this fort of Krishna Bhakti. So this stream of pure Krishna Bhakti is going to continue. It will never stop. আপনারা আরও অধিকতর উৎসাহের সহিত ভক্তি বিনোদ মনোভীষ্ট প্রচারে ব্রতী হবেন. Therefore, all of you should be engaged in propagating the mission of Chaitanya, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or to fulfill the desire of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to propagate Shuddha Bhakti, all of you should take a vow to become part of that mission of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. আপনাদের মধ্যে বহু যোগ্য ও কৃতি ব্যক্তি রয়েছেন. There are so many eligible persons. Though there are so many persons who are eligible as well as those who can perform activities among you, there are so many. Therefore, you should engage all your eligibility, all your qualifications in propagating the message, propagating the mission of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. আমাদের অন্য কোনো আকাঙ্ক্ষা নাই, আমাদের একমাত্র কথা এই আদদানস্ত্রিণং দন্তেরিদম याचे पुनः पुनः श्रीमद रूप पदाम्बोज धूलिः स्यांग जन्म जन्मनि. Again he is telling the same thing, that we don't have any desire. The only prayer is that by holding grass in between my teeth, with great humility, I want to pray only one thing, that may the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami be my object of worship birth after birth. This is my only prayer. Repeatedly in this final instructions of Srila Prabhupada, he is telling that how important is Rupa Goswami's service in our lineage. We are called Rupanugas. Even though Sanatana Goswami is the elder brother of Rupa Goswami, we are not called Sanatana Anugas, we are called Rupanugas. Because to Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given these instructions of Abhideya Bhakti Tattva. And Rupa Goswami was the one who left the material life before Sanatana Goswami, even though Sanatana was elder brother. And Rupa Goswami met Mahaprabhu first, and Mahaprabhu gave these instructions of sadhana bhakti, and he gave direct order he should write the scriptures. So Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur repeatedly told about our true identity, what our true wish should be, that is to become the dust at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami and his followers. Time is up. There are many more instructions, but final instructions. So if you get time later in the day, maybe you can go through. There are many more instructions that he gave. Yesterday also I couldn't go beyond this point. Today also I stopped at the same point. Yesterday I was speaking in Hindi but stopped at the same point. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. सपरिकर श्री राधा मदन मोहन श्री राधा गोविंद श्री राधा गोपीनाथ जू की जय. जय श्री प्रभुपाद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर तिरुभाव तिथि पूजा की जय. जय श्री ताहर अंतिम वाणी की जय. जय हरिकथा श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.